It's great to have you on board. We must ask that you remain seated for the duration of your journey. If you would like to alight at any point during the tour, please notify the driver by using the buttons provided. Alcohol and smoking is prohibited on all our tours. In case of an emergency, please closely follow the instructions of our staff. Please also visit our website at www.liverpoolcitysites.com, where you can find an interactive map as well as our exclusive discounts and offers. If you have any further questions, please speak with a member of our team. We hope you enjoy your tour. The Royal Albert Dock opened in 1846, designed by Jesse Hartley. Its warehouses were fireproof and tax privileges allowed merchants to trade before tax was charged. Liverpool docks were groundbreaking and quickly dominated the global shipping industry. The dock equated to the size of 3 football pitches and cost the equivalent of £41 million today. Following extensive regeneration in 1981, the dock reopened in 1984 and now is a vibrant hub of restaurants, bars, retail and culture. We are now on Strand Street, also known to locals as the Dock Road. Strand is the Germanic word for beach, and originally this would have marked the edge of the River Mersey. The red and white striped building on our right is Albion House. This is the former headquarters of the White Star Shipping Line, owners of the Titanic. Almost 80% of the Titanic crew registered to work here, and many of them were from the local area. This is why the Titanic bore the name Liverpool. George's Dock building on our left is an extraction chamber for the Queensway or Mersey Tunnel. Right now there are cars, lorries, buses and trains underneath us in one of 3 subterranean traffic tunnels. This stretch of road is called the Gorey, which is an island 2 kilometres off the coast of Senegal, where slave ships would exchange cargo. This part of the city centre bears the name to forever link the city's involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. Coming up is stop 2 for the world-famous Mersey ferries.
On day after day, hearts torn in every way. So ferry, cross the Mersey, 'cause this land's the place I love, and here I'll stay.
The River Mersey is 110 kilometres long, with a catchment area of 5 million people. The river was immortalised in 1965 by by Jerry and the Pacemakers' hit song, Ferry Cross the Mersey. Ferry crossings began over 800 years ago with the Benedictine monks from Birkenhead running its first regular service in the 12th century. The Mersey is very treacherous, having the third fastest tidal run in Europe and a tidal range of 10 metres twice a day. The rectangular building on the waterfront is the Museum of Liverpool, completed in 2011. Its unique shape is inspired by trading ships which once dominated the harbour. Head inside for extensive exhibitions on the history and culture of Liverpool. The Edwardian building to our right is the Port of Liverpool building, opened in 1907. It's the oldest of Liverpool's three graces, three historical buildings adorning the Liverpool waterfront. The Port of Liverpool building was originally the headquarters of the Mersey Docks and Harbour Board. It was inspired by the unused design for Liverpool's Anglican Cathedral. On your left is the Cunard building, completed in 1917. It was originally home to the Cunard shipping line. Today, the Cunard building is home to the British Music Experience, a permanent exhibition on our nation's popular music. The plinths on the pavement outside the Cunard building include the names of many famous ships registered here. On the far end is the Royal Liver building. This is the most recognisable of the three graces. Designed by Walter Aubrey Thomas and opened in 1911, this Grade 1 listed building is a Liverpool icon. Its clock towers are 25 foot in diameter. That's 2 foot wider than the clock face of Queen Elizabeth Tower, known as Big Ben. Atop the building's towers sit our legendary liver birds. The mythical liver bird is the head of an eagle and the body of a cormorant. They are made from copper, stand at 18 feet tall and have a wingspan of 24 foot. Legend has it that the male, Bertie, watches over the city whilst the female, Bella, looks out to sea, waiting for sailors to return home. Some say that Bella is keeping an eye out for the handsome sailors, while Bertie is checking that the pubs are open. On our right is Liverpool Parish Church, also known as St Nick's or the Sailors' Church. Its namesake being St Nicholas, patron saint of mariners and repentant thieves, which is where the saying "you're nicked" originates from.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall never surrender.
On our right is Derby House, the former top-secret Royal Navy headquarters in World War II. Liverpool was Britain's main convoy port, essential in maintaining her relationship with allies USA and Canada. Today, the site has been transformed into Western Approaches Museum, Complete with a fully restored two-storey bunker, it tells the story of the Battle of the Atlantic, the war at sea during World War II. If you're interested in military history, this is your stop. Exchange railway station on our left opened in 1850 and was the western end of the Lancashire-Yorkshire Railway. The station closed in 1977 as Liverpool's city centre railway network is now underground. However, you can see the frontage was preserved and incorporated into the office building behind. The red brick building ahead is the Grade 2 listed Prudential Assurance Building. Completed in 1886, it was designed by local architect Alfred Waterhouse, who was famous for his use of red terracotta bricks. Other notable Waterhouse designs are the Natural History Museum in London, Strangeways Prison in Manchester, and Liverpool's Victoria Gallery and Museum, known as the original Red Brick University. The Royal Insurance Building to our left was opened in 1903 and reopened as a 4-star hotel in 2014. We also have another ventilation shaft for the Mersey tunnel to our right. And up next is our stop for the Cavern Quarter and Liverpool One.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog.
On our left is Matthew Street, home of the world-famous Cavern Club, made famous by the Beatles, who played there nearly 300 times. It's the very heart and soul of the Mersey beat sound. Mersey beat is what's now known as pop music. The names of all the bands who played at the Cavern are etched into the brickwork along Matthew Street. Opened in 2008, Liverpool One is a retail and residential leisure complex. Nestled within the famous high street chain stores, you will find souvenir shops for Liverpool and Everton FC. Although a modern addition to Liverpool city centre, it also incorporates the Blue Coat Chambers. Originally a school, the Blue Coat is the oldest city centre building, dating back to 1717. It's now a gallery and cafe, with free exhibitions open daily. The Queen Victoria Monument on the left was unveiled in 1906 and stands on the site of the old Liverpool Castle, which was first established in 1237 and later demolished in 1726. At the northern end of Castle Street, you can see Liverpool's Old Town Hall, dating back to 1754. The area is now a hub for restaurants, bars and cafes. As we turn into Cook Street, This is stop 5 for the Cavern quarter. Coming up on the right is number 16 Cook Street. Designed by Peter Ellis in 1866, this is the world's second glass curtain wall building, floor to ceiling glass. This is now the standard for skyscrapers across the world. Liverpool is a UNESCO City of Music and holds a place in the Guinness Book of World Records for having more #1 hit singles than any other city. The first #1 was How Much Is That Doggy in the Window by Lita Rosa in March 1953, making Lita the first female to top the UK charts.
How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail.
That's enough of that. Liverpool has produced a staggering 56 #1s and is dubbed the world capital of pop music. The building on our right was the Central Post Office, constructed between 1894 and 1899. The building incorporated Renaissance, Roman and Greek-style architecture and was considered fireproof. Damage encountered during the Blitz was so severe that the upper floors were removed. As we continue along Victoria Street, we enter the first football quarter. On your left is the Dixie Dean Hotel, Everton FC's all-time record-breaking goalscorer. On your right, you will see the Shankly Hotel, dedicated to Liverpool FC's most beloved manager, Bill Shankly. At the roundabout, look to your left and you will see the entrance to the Queensway or Mersey Tunnel. Opened in 1934, it took a total of 1,700 men 9 years to build.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high.
As we leave William Brown Street, you will see a monument to our left dedicated to the 97 Liverpool FC fans who tragically lost their lives as a result of the Hillsborough disaster of the 15th of April 1989. Memorials to the 97 fans can also be found at Anfield, Liverpool Town Hall and the Liverpool Cathedral.
Walk on, walk
To our left is the truly magnificent St George's Hall, considered to be the greatest neoclassical building in Europe. It was designed by Harvey Lonsdale Elms and opened in 1854. Charles Dickens declared it the most perfect hall in the world, and Queen Victoria thought it was worthy of ancient Athens. It served as a public library, concert venue and law courts, where authors like Charles Dickens and Arthur Conan Doyle delivered the penny readings. The four statues of St George's Plateau include General Earl, Prince Albert, Benjamin Disraeli and Queen Victoria, as well as a World War II cenotaph and 4 lions. The gentleman on top of the tall tower is Arthur Wellesley, better known as the Duke of Wellington. Cast from gunmetal taken from Napoleon's cannons captured at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. The statue is facing Belgium, where the battle took place. Arthur Wellesley was born in Dublin, and although he defeated a Frenchman in Belgium, he later became leader of the Liverpool Tory party and 3-time Prime Minister, which is why he stands pride of place, looking upon the city. Your next stop is stop 7 for Lime Street train station. Home of the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, it is the world's oldest still functioning passenger terminus. Opened in 1836, it connects Liverpool and Manchester, making it the world's first intercity passenger railway line. At the opening ceremony, a local MP, William Huskinson, misjudged the speed of an approaching train and was run over and killed, thus unfortunately making him the first passenger railway fatality in the world. Quite the dubious honour. The road was originally called Limekiln Lane, as lime was used as a powerful disinfectant for cleaning ships, and several lime kilns would have lined this street. During the 19th century, Lime Street was notorious as Liverpool's red light district, frequented by sailors and ladies of the night, the most famous of which was Maggie May. Maggie was immortalised in the folk song that bears her name, a version of which was included on the Beatles' album Let It Be. Look up to your right and you will see one of Liverpool's most famous statues, called Liverpool Resurgent. Designed by Jacob Epstein, he signifies the rise of Liverpool after the flames of the Blitz. He is known locally as Dickie Lewis. I wonder why. Your next stop is stop 8 for the Adelphi Hotel. On your left is the Adelphi Hotel, first built in 1826, and it became one of the most famous hotels in Europe. During the days of transatlantic travel, the rich and famous stayed here prior to embarking on their journeys to North America. No expense was spared in the construction of the hotel's interior, which had to be at the height of fashion and luxury. Today, the building still maintains its ornate interior, where you can enjoy the splendour of the Sefton Suite, which is a replica of the first-class smoking room on board the ill-fated Titanic. The same White Star Line architects and tradesmen work both on the hotel and the Titanic. More famous now for the people who have stayed here, including Judy Garland, Frank Sinatra, Eleanor Roosevelt, wife of American President F.D. Roosevelt, Mark Twain, Winston Churchill, and Charles Dickens. It's rumoured that Charles Dickens chose the name Mr. Brownlow from this road for his book Oliver Twist. Mr. Brownlow is Oliver's grandfather, who adopts Oliver and liberates him from a life in the workhouse. The Roman Catholic Cathedral now stands on the site of the old Brownlow Hill workhouse, which of course is the setting for the story of Oliver Twist. To the left, you will see the Victoria Gallery and Museum building, now part of the University of Liverpool. Completed in 1892, it is built in beautiful red terracotta brick and was designed by Alfred Waterhouse, who we mentioned earlier. This is the original red brick or civic university. Next is stop 9 for the Metropolitan Cathedral of Christ the King. This is the Catholic Cathedral in the city. It's known locally as Paddy's Wigwam due to its shape, with a tall central tower known as a lantern. The original design by Sir Edwin Lutyens would have been the second largest cathedral in the world. Construction began in 1933, but due to the outbreak of World War II, it was never fully completed. Only the pyramids and crypt below were finished. The cathedral was completed by Sir Frederick Gibbard. Work recommenced in 1962 and the building was consecrated in 1967. The interior of the building is beautiful, with the largest expanse of stained glass anywhere in the world, which casts vibrant colours across its internal floor and walls. The tower has 52 feet high pinnacles, which form the crown of Christ the King, standing out over Liverpool's skyline. The campanile supports 4 bells of varying sizes, each one named after the apostles, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. They are affectionately known in the city as John, Paul, George and Ringo. The main entrance is directly underneath the bell tower. Next is stop 10 for the Philharmonic dining rooms. We are now on Hope Street, heading towards the Philharmonic Dining Room. Opened in 1898, it's Britain's first purpose-built Grade 1 listed pub. Remember to hop off here and claim your free glass of bubbly with your bus ticket. It's incredibly ornate inside and out, with Grade 1 listed urinals made of pink marble. Ladies, don't be afraid to go into the gents' toilets to have a look at the marble. On the left is the Philharmonic Hall, home of the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra, Britain's oldest professional symphony orchestra. A plaque in the foyer commemorates the string quartet band of the Titanic, who famously played on whilst the boat sank to boost morale. Faulkner Street on our left is one of the most beautiful streets in the city. Many of these townhouses now have listed status and are regularly used in film and TV. The buildings to your right were schools attended by Sir Paul McCartney, George Harrison, John Lennon and Stuart Sutcliffe. John also met his future wife Cynthia here. Built in 1825, Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, known as LIPA, is now a fame school owned by Sir Paul McCartney, who's also a patron. Next is stop 11 for the Anglican Cathedral. The Liverpool Cathedral is Britain's largest cathedral and the 5th largest cathedral in the world. Designed by Sir Giles Gilbert Scott when he was just 21 years old, construction began in 1904 and was completed in 1978, taking 74 years to build. At 331 feet high, it has the highest, heaviest and largest peal of bells in the world. It's also home to the Willis organ, which is the largest organ in the UK, with more than 10,000 pipes. Giles Gilbert Scott's other notable designs include Battersea Power Station, the Tate Modern in London, and the iconic red telephone box. This is Rodney Street, which is known as the Harley Street of the North. Here you will find doctors, dentists, opticians, chiropractors and even plastic surgeons. It's said that you can walk in one end of Rodney Street looking 65 and leave at the other end looking 21. I must have walked in the wrong direction. Look to your left. Number 62 is the birthplace of William Gladstone, 4-time Prime Minister during the reign of Queen Victoria. You will notice some windows along the street are bricked up. This was to avoid the window tax, referred to as daylight robbery. Number 34 to our left was the birthplace of Henry Booth, known as the father of passenger railways. He helped found the Liverpool to Manchester Railway and even commissioned George and Robert Stephenson's famous locomotive, the Rocket. Next is stop 12 for St Luke's Church and Bold Street. To your left is St Luke's Church, known locally as the Bombed Out Church. It was hit by an incendiary bomb during the Blitz of May 1941. Completed in 1832, St Luke is the patron saint of the medical profession, which is why it sits so close to Rodney Street. The next stop is stop 13 for Chinatown and Quirky Quarter. This area is named Ropewalks after its unique large 19th century warehouse buildings, once used for rope making during Liverpool's maritime boom. The streets were built in long straight parallel lines to allow rope manufacturers to lay the rope lengthways during production. This is Liverpool's Chinatown, home of the oldest Chinese community in Europe, dating back over 170 years. The ceremonial arch coming up on our right is the largest ceremonial arch outside of mainland China and was gifted to the Chinese community in Liverpool by the People's Republic of Shanghai in the year 2000. It contains over 200 dragons, 12 of which are pregnant, a sign of good fortune in China. Shanghai is now one of Liverpool's many twin cities. In Shanghai, you'll find buildings based on Liverpool's Three Graces. They were designed by Walter Aubrey Thomas, the same architect who designed the Royal Liver Building. Great George Street was named in honour of King George III and was once a wealthy residential street. The only surviving example of its former glory is the Wedding House, which is to our right at the end of this stretch of road. This area suffered extensive bomb damage during World War II, with over 100,000 incendiary devices being dropped in this area alone. Liverpool was the most heavily bombed city in the UK outside of London during the Second World War. Most of the street was demolished in the 1970s to widen the road. There are various forms of street art in the city. Please visit liverpoolcitysites.com for more information. John Culshaw is a Liverpool-based artist from Toxteth. He lost his arm in a road accident at 9 years of age. He's a painter and decorator by trade, and his accident may have aided his passion because he had to relearn how to use his hands. When John was approached for a recommendation, he decided to recommend himself. He said, "I've got to be the person who says, yeah, I can do that." Paul Curtis is a Liverpool-based artist who specialises in street art and murals. His first piece in 2017, entitled "For All Liverpool's Liver Birds," closed the street as people took their turn to spread their wings, including the likes of Camilla Parker Bowles, the Queen Consort. With over 200 works across the region, he is Liverpool's leading street artist. Visit paulcurtisartwork.com for an interactive map of his work.
pretend that I'm missing the lips I am missing, and hope that my dreams will come true. And then while I'm away, I'll ride home every day, and I'll send all my loving to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true.
Forgotten something.
Any money in it? Yeah, check that first.
biscuits. Hot.
Thank you.